Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Coco Socks and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and release on her training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You're going to find that this correction is going to be really helpful to you in every aspect of her training, including the jumping. Now, right now, she's sitting nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Coco heel. At this point, Coco has a job to do, and that is to remain even with your left leg while walking, and when you stop your feet, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So with these young boxer kids, it's a lot of self-control, focus, maturity, getting them to not be jumping all over the place. Now the next exercise that Fred's going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. Stay is a hand and a voice command. Because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Now you're going to practice these sit-stays indoors as well as outdoors. You're going to start out at about 30 seconds and work all the way up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, and he ends up back where they started at heel position. He gives her a little pat for praise, and they take off heeling again. So again, she's having to focus, she's having to pay attention, she's getting praised for a good job. But proper leash walking is not rocket science. It's basic dog training 101, so that she learns that when you have a leash on her and you're walking with her down the street, that she's not lunging out, dragging you down the street, but she's walking nicely beside you. Okay. And Fred gives her another sit-stay command. You're going to turn to face her, practice this indoors as well as outdoors. And this time, instead of returning all the way back to her, Fred's going to demonstrate the come on command. He uses her name, he praises her on the way in, and she comes right in and sits. You notice she doesn't come in and jump. And that's very important. Everything is about 4 feet on the ground. And we've worked with her in the puppy playroom too, when she was off leash and just playing with toys, and a trainer would enter the room. No sit to get loved, but no jumping. So we've really worked hard on that for you. Now Fred's leaving her again in another sit-stay. She's starting to anticipate the next command, but Fred is going to demonstrate again the come on command. And you see she comes right in and she gets a pat for praise, because coming to you and sitting nicely in front of you is praiseworthy. So you want to let her know that you appreciate that she's doing these things well. She's a very, very sweet girl. Now the next command that we're going to be demonstrating for you is the down from a heel position. So with the dog always seated first, at a heel position, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and use the one-word command to down and stay. Now your long down stay can be practiced for a little bit longer, and again, you can practice this indoors as well as outdoors. You're going to work up eventually to a 5-minute long down stay. So if you notice that we want you to work with her at home, that's important to the ultimate success. That's why we do these videos. When Fred returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, again, as he did on the sit-stay, returning back to heel, and then he tells her to heel. So heel is a position as well as an exercise. Nice automatic sits, so when you're walking with her, if you stop to chat with a neighbor or cross traffic, she should be sitting nicely, waiting for you to tell her what to do next. And Fred's going to demonstrate that down from a heel position again. So it's down, and if you're going to leave her, you have to tell her to stay. And very quickly, you're going to be able to start dropping your leash, but don't do that for at least the first 2 weeks. Use the leash to reinforce everything. This time, instead of returning back to her, Fred calls her in. She comes right in and sits. She gets praised for that. And the very last exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. Now this is the harder of the down commands because you're not right next to her. So you're going to leave her in a sit-stay. You're going to turn to face her. You are going to use your right hand to give the command. And she anticipated the COME, so that's why she got up, but Fred got her to go right down. And that is your down from a distance command. So we've demonstrated for you the heel, the automatic sit, the sit stay, you're down from a heel, you're down from a distance and stay, and your come. These are all of the commands that we want you to practice. Use your video to practice with. If you need us, please call us. We are always here for you, and we will come and help you and be happy to do it. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.